I think he's
he
looking
likes
for a
acting
post.
positions. All right, Brett, I have to ask you, because there's a lot of buzz about this. You deactivated your Twitter account after a controversy that involved someone calling you a name. Would you like to comment?
Yeah, I'm going to be careful with my words because
Okay.
I know these are going to be examined carefully. So I think Twitter brings out the worst in its users. It tends to bring out the worst in its users. And yesterday, a professor at George Washington University described me as a bedbug or a metaphorical bedbug, just in the context of the New York Times having a bedbug problem in our building. And I think that kind of rhetoric is dehumanizing and totally unacceptable, no matter where it comes from. So I wrote him a personal email. I didn't go to Twitter. I wrote him a personal email, which I think was very civil, saying that I didn't appreciate it, that I would welcome him to come to my home in New York, meet with my family, and see if he would call me a bedbug to my face, because a lot of the things people say on social media aren't the things they're really prepared to say in one-on-one interactions. I also copied his provost on the note. People are upset about this. I want to be clear. I had no intention whatsoever to get him in any kind of professional trouble, but it is the case at the New York Times and other institutions that people should be aware, managers should be aware of the way in which their people, their professors or journalists interact with the rest of the world. That's certainly the case with me at the New York Times. My editors are always aware of what I'm saying, and I've sometimes been called to account, rightly so. He then posted my email on Twitter, so people are free to go and look at what I had to say. All I would say is that using dehumanizing rhetoric like bedbugs or, analogizing people to insects is always wrong. We can do better. We should be the people on social media that we are in real life.
I would agree with that final statement for sure. Is that the worst thing that you have ever been called on social media?
There's a bad history of being called, of being analogized to insects that goes back to totalitarian regimes in the past. I've been called worse. I wrote this guy a personal note. Now it's out there for everyone to see.
Bret Stephens, thank you for letting us hear that. Susan Del Percio, always